So it's now been 5 or 6 months since we've last talked about this. How do you feel about House of the Dragon Season 2? Because I've seen a few of your videos and during my hiatus, but I haven't talked to you about it. Did you calm down? Did you only get angrier? What happened?
I mean, I kind of did what you did for House of the Dragon, to be honest. Like, I talked about it for about a month or so after it like finished, and then I haven't talked about it since really.
Hmm.
I have something I'm working on in the background, but I still feel relatively the same. Like, I just think it's pretty garbage. At least I think overall as a season, it's not garbage because there are good things in it, but the way it finishes
Hmm.
destroys a lot of the season and in the prior season as well. So I'm still like I'm not like angry because it's been time. Like I was more angry because it's like, okay, it's basically it felt like to me again the betrayal of Game of Thrones all over again. It felt like that a second time. And it's with characters that I really enjoy from Fire and Blood. And so yeah, like to me, I don't think I've gotten any less pissed off at the show. I still basically hate the show for what it did. I think it's
Those are
some of
strong
the
words.
decisions some of the decisions that they made. I cannot fathom how they sat down and wrote these, and people make excuses for them all the time. It just drives me nuts.
Hmm.
Oh, the writers' strikes. Oh, they had 8 episodes. Oh, HBO wasn't funny. Okay, but I could have looked at this script one time and gone, "This is complete shit. Redo it." It's just so frustrating because they did all of the hard work, right? Like we talked about for the whole season, basically. Damon's arc is really good. It's a focus
Hmm.
on his character and developing him and taking him and making him a more complex character because season one he really wasn't that. He was just more of a
Yeah.
villain character for season one, or at least for the most part, and then transitioning it into the Greens conflict and all that. And then you just have simply, oh, well, here's how we're going to resolve his character arc. We're going to give him a vision that makes it where he's tied to fate. He didn't really grow much at all. We could have had this vision happen in episode 3 and nothing basically changes with Damon's entire character arc. And then he just goes back to Rhaenyra. Like, it just felt like, okay, well, all this time now that we were in Harrenhal was for nothing. It didn't matter. The Alicent Rhaenyra stuff was pretty bad. Rhaenyra continues to be a pretty boring and one note character. Uh, Allison's just makes no sense for the most part. So, I don't know. Your
It's
main
even
3 characters of the show, and I don't really particularly like any of them at this point, so
the same thing happened with Aemond, and I see no one or almost no one talking
yes.
about it. He
Yeah.
went from, crying about Luke's death to killing how many people was it, 1,000?
Yep.
Just like that. Just like that. That is the character that I wanted to
Green.
see. Don't get me wrong. That was what I wanted to see. That's why I like his character, because he is that evil. But since House of the Dragon took so much time and effort into building him into a more reasonable character and more complex, they added more complexity in the beginning. You can't just do a 180 because he saw a few dragons were getting claimed. You can't just do a 180 and just nuke a place. That doesn't make sense, not yet. You know?
It's a major flipping point in his character as well, and we didn't see it either.
And it's like, uh, that's something that we rarely ever talk about, but that even if you look at the smaller things, it's getting iffy.
Yeah. I mean, of all the major characters, like, the only one I actually like is basically Aegon.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd say that. Never thought I'd say that, Mr. Green supporter in the background. I don't
Look
even like
at
Jace
you.
anymore.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Hold on, I like
Oh
Baela.
my god, yeah.
I like
Yeah,
Baela,
I like
so I have
Baela. I
one
like Baela. Yeah, now you gotta say, you're gotta be
I like
contrarian.
Corlys when we see him every, like, 4 episodes.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, Aegon is my favorite character.
He is. He's so good. The actor is phenomenal. I mean, they all are. They're
all
the
great
great
actors.
actors in House of the Dragon. They're all fantastic, from minor character to lead actors. They're all fantastic, and show is beautifully shot. And I think the pacing, for the most part, is pretty good. Not in a season. If you look at the whole season, it's not, but you don't that it doesn't drag. Like it was a main criticism for a lot of people that it dragged, but I don't think it did. It's just, these decisions. These characters have to do something because the script says so. So yeah, I pretty much feel the same way. I went on hiatus, didn't think much about the show, and whenever I did, like even, and this is the sad part, because I think you can, McCavity from Twitter, Max, a friend of mine, mentioned it to me just the other day. You can see my enthusiasm die over each and every review and thing that I did on here. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, I was so happy. I was so hyped for the show coming back, and being immersed in this whole thing. And it's always an experience, even if it's like, even for the later seasons of Game of Thrones, I feel like it was just such a cultural thing. We all watched this together, we all talked about it, and I wanted House of the Dragon to be the same, but it just scared me away. I like, whenever I see people talking about the show now, like McCavity, and he has brilliant ideas. He really does. I'm like, yeah, but the stuff that you suggest is better than what they're capable of doing now, especially with 8 episodes. How many battles do we have to cut to even get to the end in the next 16 episodes? Or how much of the complexity, or when will it even end? Are we even going to see the Hour of the Wolf? I don't know. Stuff like that. How many more White Walker scenes do I have to endure? When is the Night King gonna show up?
More.
Like, jeez. So yeah, before we might wrap this up. I'm always, don't really have a length, or I don't really have um a forum in which these live streams are gonna go down. But we're definitely gonna do more book content than ever before. Like, I actually want to talk actual book stuff now.
Catch our live shows over on Voice of Old Town's channel. There will be a link to his channel in the description. If you want to listen to these on Spotify, you can listen to them on the Goblins of Old Town Spotify channel, which I will have listed down in the comments. And we will see you guys in the next live show or in some stream clips that I post on this channel.